Even confirmed that the killer worked alone. Each victim was a physically fit male with minimal or no defensive wounds. The attention the killer paid to smashing his victims' hands suggested a thief, that the victims had taken something from the killer. But so far, at least between the first two victims, there was absolutely no connection that law enforcement could find. This was the type of crime Lucy had the most experience with. Violent. What that said about her, she didn't know, other than she was good at getting into the heads of both killers and victims. Ash said, "It's not pretty." "I read your other reports," she said. "Does the victim present the same way?" "Damn near identical. The killer got up close and personal. Several blows to the torso and groin, possibly one to the back of the head. Possible taser burn on the victim's shirt." He gestured, but it was a contact stun. No cartridge and no confetti. Virtually all personal tasers now have aphid confetti to track to the owner. That put the killer in the smart category. Smart and confident. But why the stun? It hurt like hell, but wouldn't keep the victim down. Was it before or after the initial blow? Had the victim tried to get up, fought for the weapons so the killer used the jolt to stun him long enough to retrieve another weapon? Except there was little sign of a struggle. The victim had been found only a dozen feet from his car. Ash said, "For some reason, the victim pulled over into this parking lot. He got out of his car, left his phone and keys. Then he was attacked. Though no way we can confirm this without an autopsy, he was likely attacked from behind because there don't appear to be any defensive wounds on his arms. Then whack, whack, whack. The killer used a blunt object similar to the first two murders. I should be able to confirm once I get trace from the autopsy. If it's consistent, I'm leaning toward a steel mallet with a diameter of between 2.5 and 3 inches, but I can't tell you exactly what yet." "It's unusual that the focus was on the hands," Lucy said. "Extremely odd. The groin suggests sexual, but the victims were all fully clothed, and the genitals weren't mutilated." Ash shivered. "I don't know about you, but getting hit in the balls with a hammer would hurt like hell." He squatted across the body from Lucy. "You know, getting hit in the balls would bring most guys to their knees. Maybe that was the first hit. There just doesn't seem to be any reason. Nothing taken, no message, no purpose." "You sound like a cop now," Lucy said, "and there's always a purpose. We just don't know why yet." She swatted flies from the body and looked closely at the mouth, unable to avoid seeing the brain matter and blood from the close-range gunshot in the face. In the previous murders, duct tape residue had been found on and around the victim's mouth, but no tape was found at either scene. The killer had taken it with him, likely to avoid it being traced back to him. Tape is a terrific medium to obtain prints, trace evidence, or DNA. Here she could make out the rawness on the skin from the tape being pulled off. If they could find the tape, was it a souvenir? Did the killer dispose of it between the crime scene and his home? Destroy it? Why duct tape the mouth at all? The kills had been quick, not as efficient as they could have been, but was that part of the thrill? To beat a man down, then shoot him? The killer was smart, ruthless, purposeful. Because even though these victims appeared random, there was a purpose. Killers almost always had a reason. Once Lucy figured out how the victims connected, the motive would be clear. She was certain of it. And if the killer was truly a serial murderer, there would be a connection. While the victims might seem random, there would be a commonality that made sense to the killer. She couldn't shake the feeling that this was retribution, which meant the killer may be done when he finished with his list. Who was on it? People who had done him wrong? Hurt him emotionally or physically? If that was the case,